Namaste all, welcome to Dr. Subarya's tutorial. Today we are exploring some key principles of andragogy. So andragogy is derived from Greek word and means men or adult, goji means leading or guiding. So andragogy focuses on methods that work best for adult learners. Okay. So there are some characteristic features of adult learners. They are self-directed learners. Unlike kids, adults often prefer to set their own learning goals. Think about a time you choose to learn something new. You probably had a reason for it, right? And want to approach it in your own way. This is what we call self directed learning, taking charge of what we learn and how. Next is readiness to learn. Adults are more motivated to learn when the content directly applies to their life or their works or interest. For example, if you are learning something to solve a problem at work, you are much more interested than if it were just for the sake of learning. And next is about life experiences. Adults bring a lot of experiences with them. This past knowledge actually helps shape how we understand new information. If you are learning something related to a past job, you will naturally connect it to those previous experiences, making learning faster and easier. So that is about the life experiences. Next is problem centered. So adults like to learn things they can use right away. Instead of theory, we are often interested in practical knowledge because that helps us solve real world problems. For example, rather than just learning about communication, we might want specific tips to communicate better in the workplace. Okay, next is about motivation to learn. And we are often motivated by internal goals, right? Whether it's say improving skills or achieving personal growth or feeling fulfilled. We are not learning just for a grade or prize, but because we genuinely want to grow. And next is about relevance oriented. As adult, we often look for the relevance in what we are learning. And if it helps us at work, improves our personal lives and all, or help us to reach a goal, what happen? We are more likely to engage fully. So that is relevance oriented nature of the adult. So next one is collaborative learning. So adults learn a lot from each other, right? We are learning a lot from each other. For example, like group discussion, sharing experience, and giving feedback to each other can make learning richer and easier. And goal oriented nature. This is when learning something new, we are usually working towards a personal or professional milestone, not just learning without purpose. There is a purpose. It is a goal oriented, right? So these are the characteristic feature of an adult learner. Next, about the andragogical assumptions. These are ideas about how adults learn best. For example, adults prefer learning things that help them in real life, like taking a cooking class to make healthy meals rather than just reading recipes. Next is experiential learning. So it means adults learn by doing things themselves, not just by hearing or reading. For example, instead of just reading about gardening, an adult might learn by actually planting and caring for a garden. Okay, so next is transformative learning. This type of learning changes how someone thinks or feels. After a class on a health, a person might change their diet because they now understand or know about the benefit of healthy eating. That is an example for transformative learning. Next is about self-efficacy. It is what called believing in your ability to succeed helps you keep going. Okay, for example, we can say that if an adult feel confident, they can learn a new language. They will stick with it. So even when it's challenging, they will stick with it. That is the self-efficacy. And next about the autonomous learning. Adults like to make their own decision about what and how to learn. That is the autonomous learning. For example, someone might choose to learn a guitar online at their own pace instead of attending a strict weekly class. So that is an autonomous learning. Next is constructivist learning. Here, adults connect new information to what they already know. For example, if a nurse learns about a new treatment, they will connect it to their past experience with the patient to understand it better. Okay, that is constructivist learning. And next is learning contracts. It's like a learning agreement that sets clear goal. For example, an adult learner and their teacher might agree on a project deadline and what they will study, like a work plan and all. So that is learning contracts. Next is about reflective practice, taking time to think about what you have learned. For example, after a work meeting, an employee might think about how they could improve themselves for the next time. Okay, next is about communities of practice. It is about group of people learning together and sharing ideas. A group of teachers might meet regularly to share teaching tips and learn from each other's experiences. Okay, so that is about the communities of practice. Also, doctors can also meet regularly and share their information and thoughts to each other. That's also comes under here. And next is about the intrinsic motivation. That is we already discussed, right? Adults are often driven by personal goals, not just external rewards. For example, like a person might take a yoga class not for a certificate, but because they want to feel healthier and more relaxed. That's intrinsic motivation. So here, this example shows how adult learning is practical, hands-on, and focused on real-life situations or real-life applications. So thank you for joining today. I hope this overview of andragogy principles gave you a clear understanding of how adults approach learning differently. So keep exploring, keep growing, and embrace the journey of learning at every stages of life. Thank you so much.